Hello, you're live with Archibald Chesterfield III, AC3, and today we've got a special show, Thai special, advice for all young men looking for adventure. Now I've got John SUKAHORN, and we might even have Clyde coming in there. And this special is in response to Burger and Bully. That's right. They sent me an email, a paid bit of paid advice. I wrote you several years ago for Bully happy birthday video. The fuckaroonie was delighted with the surprise. Hello, John. How are you?
G'day, Arch. What's doing, mate?
Hey, I'm just reading this email. This is hi, Arch. I wrote to you several years ago for the Bully happy birthday video. The fuckaroonie was delighted with the surprise as he is a huge ArchieLuxury fan. We both are. Your video brings us so much happiness, and we always take your advice when buying luxury goods. Well, now I'm pleased to write to you that Bully is taking me to Asia, Manila, Macau, and Bangkok for my birthday coming up. And I would like to pay you to do an advice video on our upcoming trip and maybe include Archie's expert advice, some fun Archie stories from bangers. What advice do you have for two young fellows? Please refer to us in the video. Our names are Bully and Burger. Call us fuckaroonies, and we laugh so hard every time you say that. He sent me $100. Now, I wanted to come back to the Thai special because we've done a lot of watch videos. We've moved away from Thai videos. And there's been a number of reasons. Number one, the Google ads aren't rating for girly videos anymore. They don't consider that advertiser friendly. They also, the other problem I've had, John, is I also wanted to say that, I've been concentrating on watches, and it's about time we do some Thai vids. So that's the go. Thai. Now, I wanted to ask you, two young guys, he hasn't said whether he's been there before, but these might be newbies. What advice could you give these boys?
Be shrewd with your money. Don't throw it round. You know, fooling, and their money is very easily parted in Bangkok.
Yes. Now, John, you'll forgive me for saying this, and I hope I'm not out of school, but we got a really good friend of mine. He's a really nice guy. Hey, Clyde, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
No worries.
Good, mate.
Now, Clyde, we're going to do some watch videos a bit later, but at the moment we want to do a Thai special. So you're welcome to chip in there, Clyde.
Okay. $50.
And no. You mean you're welcome to chip into the conversation. You can throw some advice in there for. We've got two young guys who are going to Manila, Macau, and Bangkok, and they're asking for some advice there. Now, I got to tell you, one thing I wanted to say is, John, I'm going to say this on air. We got a really good friend of ours. We both know who he's a businessman. And he always stays in 5-star hotels, 5-star. And
because he can.
Because he can. He's got points, and he's a very shrewd traveler. But between you and me, that is the absolute worst thing you can do to get a good, honest Thai Sheila. Would you agree, John?
You wouldn't want to be taking back a Thai Sheila to a 5-star hotel on the first date, would you?
And I mean, what's happened is that a lot of the women he's met them on the Tinder, the POF, Date in Asia. First date, they've been in awe, and then they've really tried to hit him up for big sums of money. One of them asked for a car. If you love me, darling, you help me buy a second-hand Toyota. It's only 12,000 Australian, 12,000. That's about 9,000 US. She wanted his love, and I can't tell this. Sorry?
That's 30,000 baht.
No, 300,000 baht, you mean?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yes. Yes, I apologise. Yes, 300,000 baht. Not bad. You'd get a decent car in Bangkok for that, wouldn't you?
Now, the thing is, I've tried to explain to this gentleman, don't stay at these expensive hotels. Don't stay at these expensive hotels. Because every woman he has, they think he is Rupert Murdoch or Kerry Packer, or they just think he's super, super loaded. And the reality is he's a middle-class guy who loves fine hotels. That's his hobby. But it's not like he takes them there and he gets really disappointed because he thinks, I'm taking you here. I want to share this beautiful thing with you as a shine of that I really like you. Whereas they think, oh, this guy is super loaded, and try and hit him up for big chunks of money.
Well, as you would, wouldn't you? As you would.
Well, you know, I think it's very my advice is, if you're staying in a hotel in these countries, don't go for 5-star. 5-star will give you a disservice if you're going out with these women. That will really give you a disservice. You really want to stay. What do you reckon? What sort of hotel do you reckon you could stay? I reckon the Dynasty Grand in
Suka. 5-star hotel, Paul. There's no problem. But you know, why take them back to your own room? You know, why take them back to your own room? You know, like, you can go and get a short time hotel room for a couple of hours for 400 baht. Why would you bother taking back to your own room where your own personal belongings are?
So I want to give some advice. Okay, so number one is I honestly believe you should have a modest hotel room. Okay?
Yes, wise.
And I also believe, I honestly also believe, Jono, that I want some tips here. What tips can you give these guys? I said, be very careful with your money, because you arrive there, everyone's happy. Like I gave the example. I stayed at the Dynasty Hotel. I was so happy to be back from a long time. I gave everyone 100 baht notes. The girls at reception, 100 baht each. Then when I was checking out, I was 15 or 14 baht short on the bill.
Yep, you paid. They're not going to give that back, mate. You know, they've got to account for it somehow. It's not coming out of their kick. You're the millionaire.
That's exactly it, Jono. So I just want to tell you, I don't tip any Thais. And I got quite angry at you on tour when you were tipping the taxi guy. I said, you tip out of your money. Don't expect me to chip in for your tips.
Yeah, I did.
And I don't give those Thais tips at all now, because I've been so brutalized by them. Now, John, what other tips can you have there?
Be cautious with your money. You know, do a little bit of homework. You know, do a little bit of homework. There's plenty of information on the internet. You know, about traveling to Thailand. It's not a difficult thing. But don't go to. No need to go to an expensive hotel.
No, it sets the wrong tone.
There's no point in taking a girl back to your own room when it's only short time, unless you've known her for a while and you trust her. Like how many strangers do you bring into your room that you've never met before? We've only known for an hour.
Yeah, but let's just SUKAHORN. How many strangers do you know let you grope them in the lift going up to the hotel room?
None.
In the Western world?
None in the Western world.
Okay,
that's sort of expected in Thailand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you're not up to the second floor, if you're on the 25th floor, and you haven't got the hand up the dress by the third floor, there's something wrong with you.
And if she hasn't told you she loves you by about 20 minutes into the date,
but it's slow. She'll be about 5 minutes in. She'll love you in 5 minutes. She'll love you. Then you'll let the buffalo will be sick or something. Like mum's sick, or she'll tell you some sub story. approach. Then there's several approaches, but normally they try the soft-hearted, approach first.
So, what is your opinion then? If these girls tell you a story, how would you handle it?
Don't believe everything you hear. In fact, whatever. If their mouth's moving their line, put it that way. If they start talking, their mouths start to move their line. So don't believe a thing. Absolute thing what they say.
Okay. What happens if these girls can be very conniving? They can get you sucked in. They say, "Oh, don't worry about money. No problem, no problem." Then they hit you up. "Oh, I've got this problem."
The smart ones say, "Oh, it's up to you. Up to you." You hand them over 1,000 baht. We'll watch what happens. They'll want more than what is that all? And they'll start complaining. They've already got 1,000. Then they'll put on an act and a performance. I want more.
Yes. We saw that Nana Kim video. That was classic.
She was a classic. Like surprised she walked at 1,000 baht. Really.
She wasn't good looking, John. She wasn't good looking.
Looks like she had a fire on her face and someone tried to put it out with a brick. She was horrible. Fair income. She was absolutely horrible. What did you see in her?
So,
God.
Now, I got to tell you, Johnny, I got to tell you there. Clyde, do you have any Asian women in Oklahoma you've gone out with?
No, not really. We have them here, but just never really had the occasion to, I guess.
He just got busted in Thailand. Didn't know. I think it was in the American press. It was certainly in the Thai press. Because I think it was May Hong Song in Thailand, shipping Thai girls out, moving them all over the states in various brothels. They busted some Thai Sheila.
Well, we've got a lot of Vietnamese. A lot of came over after the war, so ethnically Chinese.
Thais are different. Thais aren't Chinese. They may be of Chinese extraction, but Thais are a totally different race to the Chinese.
And the Vietnamese, I don't think would be appreciative of being called Chinese either, John. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. Unless they're Chinese Vietnamese from Chinese heritage.
Yeah.
The Chinese have been in Vietnam for 500 years.
John, let's skip the history test. Let's skip the history lesson. We want to jump in. Bully and Burger, they want to hear about stories there. Always use rubbers. Wrap up, Johnny.
Well, unless you want to commit suicide. You don't know where they've been, do you?
No, that's exactly right. The other thing is, John, is you also it's always a good idea if these are two guys going together. It's always good to keep a tabs on your mate just to make sure he's okay and just
their mates will, won't they?
Hopefully they'll be staying in the same hotel together. they can really have a great experience there.
Good advice if two mates are going out. With each other, and they're out to have a bit of fun and a few beers and a few drinks. Say they've been to the bar for half an hour and the bill comes, it's 1,000 baht. It's not wise, for each bloke to pull out, what's the bill, and they discuss it, and each bloke pulls out 500 baht and puts it down. It's best if one bloke just pulls out the money and puts it down.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters, John.
The Thais notice it. The Thais will say, what are they worrying about 500 baht for?
Because it's a lot of money. That's why, John.
Oh, well. I'd rather settle my debts outside the joint in front of with my mate instead of front of the Thais. It's none of their business.
I don't really care, John.
Well, that's the subtlety. There's a difference between you and me.
Yeah, see, I'm more of a I'm looking for the long con, not the short con.
Oh, I can't stand talking to him. What do you want to talk to him for? What are you going to find out about politics or something? You're going to have some intellectual stimulating conversation about what's happening on the internet or the YouTube, or we're going to blow the living daylights out of Syria, or what are we going to do? You asked them where Syria was, they wouldn't know where it was. Why should they care anyway? Exactly
right, John. I got to tell you, Johnny, I really do think that I really do think you've got to be so careful when you go there. It's Thailand itself. I think you're going to get better value if they're two young blokes, freelancers in nightclubs, and get on the apps, do the Tinder, do the What If, do the Date in Asia.
They're just going to Bangkok, are they?
No, they're going to Manila.
They're going to Philippines. They're going to Angeles. Well, they'll learn the ropes at Angeles.
Yeah, they'll learn very quickly. It's sink or swim. I mean, the best bit of advice I can give you is no money, no honey.
Yeah, nobody gives it away in life. Especially a Thai woman, they're not going to give it away. So the point is, there's no need to be mean with them. If a girl comes and sits next to you and she starts talking to you and having a chat, you buy her a drink. But when she, if she drinks it slow, that's all right. When she puts up her finger, I'll have one more. Well, she's on the pump, isn't she? And then her mate comes and sits down, and they want you to buy them 2 drinks.
Yeah, I do. I really do think. I really do think it's better off to. I do think in this day and age, it's better off to maybe not. The bars are getting expensive; they're getting very dear, and I think you're going to find freelancers are going to be much more delightful, and you're going to have a much better time. I really do think these bars. A lot
smarter woman in bars nowadays than what you did once upon a time in time.
Yeah, it's a brutal business, John. It's a very brutal business.
Yeah, most of them, well, not most, quite a large percentage of the Thai girls, work maybe on a Friday or a Saturday night. To make money so they can advance their careers. Both academically and professionally. Like if you're a good-looking sort and you're working for a travel agent or something, you're earning a minimal amount of wage. Say what, 3,000 baht a month or something, 3,000 baht a week.
Yeah.
Why not go out on a Friday and Saturday night?
Yeah.
And meet a couple of Westerners, and get the same amount of money. Someone's going to shower you of drinks, and that's what Thai women do.
Now,
it's just the nature of affairs there.
John, any good stories there in Thailand? What you've? I tell you honestly, I think this day and age, the apps, the Tinder, the POF, get on there, get out there, and don't be afraid. Don't ever be afraid if they're asking, they're trying to scam you for money, and they just say, okay, see you later. We see you tomorrow. I ring you tomorrow. If you had it,
Clyde just asked a question. He said, why the fuck, would I pay for whoring? Well, I was just speaking to Clyde yesterday after the show, and I said, Clyde, do yourself a favour for the sake of $1,000. You get over there and you'll stay at a 4 or 5 star hotel for $100 a day. Over there, and I said, you've got your head screwed on. You're over 21. You're used to dealing with scumbags all day of your life. With criminals all day long. People are up before the court.
Criminals and lawyers, John. Criminals and lawyers.
And lawyers. Well, they're worse, aren't they? So I don't think a Thai girl is going to be terribly much problem for Clyde. But an erect penis has no conscience. And so
yes.
We'll see how he goes from there. But I'd certainly I reckon have a week's stay in Bangkok, Clyde. You'll be back every fortnight.
Possibly. What is there to do in Bangkok other than drinking and whoring?
The food, the culture.
Great street food, magnificent food, plenty of touristy things. You want to go and jump on an elephant or something, or go and watch crocodiles. Some bloke stick his head in a crocodile's fucking mouth or something. Or you want to feed, get goldfish to eat. The toe jam between your toes or something. They've got a lot of the little different things you can do in Thailand. Great shopping, excellent shopping. Get a suit made, Clyde. It'd be worth your while to go and get a couple of suit mades to work. How much a tailor-made suit costs in the States?
If you're lucky, 700 or 800.
Oh, what's that? 3-piece suit with 2 trousers?
No, single jacket, single trousers, maybe a vest, maybe a 3-piece.
You get it for less than half the price in Bangkok. That's paying top money too.
Okay. Now you've got my attention.
If you paid $300 US for a suit in Bangkok, would have to be it's all hand tailored, of course, all hand tailored.
Nice.
You can get a beautiful pure wool suit for that, or a beautiful material.
Now, John, I want to do another show. Let's cut this one.
Yeah.
Thai special. Why the SUKAHORN tours have been a disaster. Okay.
On the SUKAHORN tours.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're going to cut this now, and we'll come